Talking of panorama formats leads us immediately to Paul Debevec, and he is certainly more known for its HDRI research and of course visual effects work that is in so many movies that I even can't count them to be honest. And we want to take a look of course to his private homepage, and we get there some goodies. And when we go here to www.pauldevevec.com, we can go here to Light Probe Images, the gallery, and this is based on SIGGRAPH papers and SIGGRAPH presentations. And of course we have different formats here. When you scroll down here, the Light Probe Images, these are images done with a chrome sphere and in a special way, so we have pretty much all the information from the surrounding scene. That's pretty nice. And as you can see here, the Grace Cathedral in San Francisco has a dynamic range of 200,000 to 1, which is huge of course. And here from Rome, the St. Peter's Basilica is just in the same range of dynamic range. And you can have them in HDRI, which was at that time when it was captured, of course, top-notch. Today I have a different opinion about that, and I think the creator of this format thinks in the same way. But anyway, to just put it into an OpenEXR file is not improving the quality, of course, because OpenEXR is then only in wrapper for that. Anyway, we have another format here. And when we scroll down, we have here these crosses. And these crosses are also in 3 different types of quality and format available. Radiance HDRI here as well. You only have to click and it starts to download. And I have done this here, as you can see here on my little list. Very simple, very easy. You can use them, of course, and maybe you explore this site a little bit more, but we have to continue here of course with Cinema 4D, and I go immediately to that. I have here a little preview, and this is the St. Peter's Cross. It's the vertical version, and we could have for Cinema 4D also a horizontal, as I said. And here we have the probe then. It's a little bit bigger and it needs some time, so this is the preview and we need only the round part. So just to show you how it looks like. And now finally I hop over to Cinema 4D. In Cinema 4D we go to Windows, to Picture View, or Shift F6 if you like. We get our picture viewer, and the first logical step would be of course to go to Files and to Open, but that won't work. We have to go immediately to Convert HDR Cross or Convert HDR Probe. I start here with the cross and I get a dialog, so I can choose here my file, go to Open, and we get no option to specify if we have a vertical or a horizontal one. So I open this here and I get immediately my converted image. There's no other process step between. You get exactly what you have asked for. What is the next step now? The next step is not needed because it's already saved exactly where the original was. And I show you that. When we go here to File and we convert now here the HDR probe, we get the same dialog again, and we see now we have 3 St. Peters. And this has an underscore con for convert. It's as well in HDRI, and I will lose of course my comment about this. But first we open here the probe, and I open this here as well. And immediately it's already converted. It's that fast. I can't even see how it does it. It's there. And we see we get here different size because we have lost a lot of space in the cross area. We had a lot of black space there. And what we have done here as well is, of course, we went from a circular or from a cross to an rectangular format. And the 360 by 180 degree panorama had certainly a lot of changes on its way. And that means pixels became mixed with its neighbor, because a conversion like this is not that a pixel becomes just moved one up or down or left or right, which would not change the value. It is moved just fractions of a pixel size. And that means the whole dynamic range suffers. So don't do it often, don't do it if at all, if needed only. So what is the magic now here with this HDRI? And I'll show you that here with the filters. I switch on the filters, and we have now here, of course, curves, and I have that requested since long, and I'm so happy to have them. We can type in now here maximum 20. That is 20 times the value that you normally have when you have maybe in JPEG, where you have 100% as maximum. 100% would here be just 1. That is this tiny little thing. And when I go now here with that point down, you might see not even really a change. I can see here a little bit. I can type with the command key another one in. So I get here more and more stuff dark. And there's so much light in it. So I reset this here to make that a little bit easier. And I use here the exposure to make that really fast. And you can see I go here stopwise down. And here with 9 stops around, I have only the lights in it left. And these lights are so hot that when you have motion blur enabled or depth of field effects, these will create a wonderful effect, because if something moves, they have enough energy to create lines. If you have depth of field or shallow depth of field effect, the bokeh of these windows will really bloom. And that's the beauty of it, because there's so much energy, they ray out when they get blurred. And 9 stops is a lot of stuff. And when you think you can save this now in this state and then crank it up again with 9 stops up, then with HDRI you will lose a lot of information finally. That's possible with OpenEXR with pretty much no loss, below 1%. With HDRI you will lose a lot of information, especially in the color. The brightness values are pretty stable, and it's the heaviest format to establish values just in brightness, way over everything that we can produce here on planet Earth or even in the universe. The sun is not even able to reach the maximum of HDR, but the colors itself are pretty low. So we can save this here, of course, as an OpenEXR file in 32 bits per channel, not 8 bits per channel like the HDR format, and I repeat myself here. Okay, I stay here with the HDR format because I hope that the change was not too much. So we close this here because everything is already where we had our original files. And again, we go here with the material, we click here, check off any channels here, we click on luminance and load exactly our converted option in. It can be this or it can be that. I tend to go with the probe because it's much larger, and much larger is relative. 1500 pixels is nearly nothing, but for illumination that's pretty much what we need, because the more pixels we have, the more options the rays have, the QMC rays, to hit maybe a darker pixel. So this goes here right into the channel and we can use it as before, for example with the sky object. And in both cases we can use this to our advantage here, of course, to have reflections or illuminations in the scene. I don't want to repeat that step again because I have shown that before. It's now like any other 360 by 180 degree panorama. I want to talk, of course, about how we can use a cube to use the cross finally, or when we want to go here with something like that, how we can go maybe with a sphere into the game, because we can project a probe roughly on a sphere. So then we can avoid maybe one conversion step. If that is always the best idea, I don't know. You have to figure that out, what works for you, because any step in a process where we change pixel values is a step down in quality. So the more often you can avoid any quality loss, the better it is, of course, for the end product that you want to deliver. Thanks for listening. See you in the next one.